What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Starmade. This is the Quantum Anomaly coming at you with the WIP-Lash. This is build log number 9 on the Razorthorn, which I may be dropping the TCS prefix from soon, because this is definitely not a Terran race. But I've been flushing out some ideas anyway for like alien races and future ships and whatnot, but do its drawing. Anyway, this is the new command bay. In at least its once over state. I'll probably do a windshield or something there. And it's actually a lot roomier, especially because it doesn't taper off in the back quite so bad. I'm also going to throw that off there because I don't need that. Anyway, I've bumped in a little spot there. I've removed everything from the bottom and most of the stuff from the inside. And yeah, now we've got I can do like 2 or 3 floors in here and have plenty of space, even some little side areas. Thinking about doing like a cool navigation antenna on just like one side because I do want something to be kind of off-center on it. But yeah, I like how that looks way, way better. Matches the theme of the ship. And since I went ahead and did so much theme matching there to get the shape and design down and match everything off, I went ahead and did some rework on the turret because it needs a little bit of love. So I am going with kind of a blue and purple thing. I've done a lot of other colors in the past, and I kind of wanted something a little bit cooler. I want kind of this kind of an icy race. And so I think the ship will probably end up being somewhere along the white with some dark blue and maybe some purple accents on it. I don't want to overdo the purple. I don't want it to be a total Raver, but I did kind of want to carry what I had here with the little power conduit beams into something a little bit bigger. And I did use some ice there and underneath there. That way, even if I darken up these panels in the inside, the glow still kind of comes through to the outside armor, which looks really awesome. And speaking of glow, bam! Those cannons look hot! Something is seriously charged, primed, and ready on the inside of there. And that much light, actually, is put off by a single Parson crystal in the middle. One. And I fully surrounded it to try to block off as much light. Well, not fully. There's open in the back. But block off as much light as it could from it. And I got this nice kind of elliptical lighting effect from it there. I like it a lot. With a little bit of blue line in the middle, not too heavy, and the purple on the top and the bottom to match the kind of power rail that we have going back through the side there. I also went ahead and dipped in the corners a little bit there. Ooh. I may end up redoing the bottom there, because, yeah, the top is nice and smooth, and the bottom has that little dip there. Whoops. Anywho, you always see these things when you're recording, never when you're working on them. But, yeah, I also went through and covered up everything on the back of this so far, and extended it out a single block in the back there, just to make it 340, because 339 meters was killing me. The outer barrel here is not going to be the final shape, of course. I'm probably going to do something kind of like I did with the battleship turret and do some kind of pods on the side, and of course greebling and whatnot will come as I work on a final pass. But I figure that looks, again, seeing that kind of that old angle that it had, which I think is still inside there. Oh no, I deleted most of it. There's a little bit of it kind of up here. But anyway, this kind of stair-step angle that I had down here, just once I had the command bay up, it was the next thing that stuck out as like, that's ugly. It doesn't match the shape of the rest of the ship. So I had to go through and give that some love. That and just all the massive amount of wedging that I did, all by hand. I didn't copy and paste anything just because I felt like I was doing it faster by hand on the command bay, and because I wasn't sure, always adding more, squares and blocks and chunks, and we're not even to like greebling. That's just kind of the main pieces that I wanted to get on there, and do a little cutaway there. Never be afraid to cut something away, especially if you're building a shell, even if you're shelling an interior, like if you build your interiors first and you shell it a little bit wider, don't be afraid to cut something out, because when I first started, I started with just build a box on top of a box on top of a box on top of a box to break things up. and it left a lot to be desired. But when you do cutaways into the into the surface, you have pieces that stick out and pieces that draw the eye in, and that that allows a little bit more variation to instead of just kind of having blobs on top of blobs on top of blobs, which is kind of what this looks like right now, but it still looks infinitely better than the prior form. Not sure if I'm going to end up, excuse me, bringing this piece up diagonally and shaving that corner off. Probably would look a little bit better. I might have to do a little bit of that because there is the same number of blocks to the top and bottom of this corner as there are to the top and back of that corner there. So I could probably bring that in and that'd look a little bit better. Again, always more critical of myself when I'm recording because, doing it for you guys. That's really all I've gotten done today. The the command center took the longest, of course, and the Raver gun, as is now, kind of in my mind anyway. Maybe it's a big sonic cannon. Maybe that's what it is, some kind of sonic sniper cannon. Except sound doesn't really travel through space, so back to being a laser gun. Anyway, sorry. Oh, it's been a long night, if you can't tell. Yeah, so the command deck looks infinitely better. It also looks better from the inside. It just feels a lot more right. So I did cap off the top here because I was trying to figure out, I just wanted to smooth the entire surface off so I could figure out about where I need to attach it to make it look right, because I am going to do a wider, more solid attachment base to this than I did with all that decorative stuff that I had on before. A little bit of that's probably still, yeah, on the interior here. I didn't finish deleting all the rest of this because I've been working kind of haphazardly. Nothing else has changed on the inside, so I'm not really going to work on that right now. But I do like the, also, just got to say that, let me do that there. It really is ridiculous how amazingly huge this gun is. For this size ship, when it angles out, this turret is massive, and I totally hope to be able to run it with the docked power entity there. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that. But it's the entire length of the ship, almost. I mean, the ship is like 450 long, and it's like 350 long. So the ship minus the engines is the length of the turret there. So that should be able to give some capital ships a run for their money. Definitely. It's ridiculously huge. It is actually far too big for the ship. It just doesn't look right. But hey, that's what a specialized strike craft is for. It literally is like some kind of Gauss cannon or Gauss rifle. Like, I want it to be a sniper ship. I want it to be something that, kind of hangs back, takes its sniper shots, but leads the rest of the main force to soften up targets, so who knows. I like it so far. I like it a lot. It's looking way better. The glow lighting looks, with the ice in there, it looks really good from a distance. So I'm happy with it, and I'm also happy with the new command bay. That turned out a lot better than I expected it would. So originally I was kind of and just doing it because it matched the form better. But as I worked on it more and more and got some of the slants in and got some of the wedging done, I was like, you know what, I'm starting to really like this thing. So that makes me happy, because if I didn't like it, it would be really hard for me to continue moving with the ship, because I have to be excited about it. I have to enjoy it. I have to want to build on it. Otherwise, I just won't work on it. I'm not going to lie. I have plans for like a dozen different ships now, for both this fleet, and I want to do kind of an insectoid group of ships. And I'm going to start way smaller with them because they're going to be a lot harder to do. But I've got a couple of smaller frigate-style ships planned in a similar theme to this one. But now I've got to, with the command pod, now I've got to up my greebling game on some of the details that are already laid in the back over there, because they're going to be far too flat now that those shapes are in there. So it'll be an evolving progress. Hopefully it doesn't end up looking like a garbage heap when I'm done and just having too much. I'd say right here is probably about in the middle. If I were to do any more too much more in the way of like large shapes that jut out, it would probably look disgusting. But it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit much towards the front and not quite enough in the back. That'll take some adjustment. Anywho, I appreciate you guys' comments and suggestions. So keep them coming. And to everybody else out there, keep building.